here. So you can say, got it. And just as an introduction, if you haven't been coming to any of my sessions, my name is Cindy Bartz, and I work for Insight Wellness Works. And this is a 30-minute mindful session, and I break this down into 3 parts. The first thing that we'll do is some mindful movements. We're going to do some, it's called Tai Chi, Qigong type movements today. They're very, very easy to do. And sometimes this practice is actually called a moving meditation. So we're going to do a few movements of that, and then we'll do some mindful breath techniques. And today we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. I've done this in the past, so you might be familiar with it, but we'll do a short review, and then we'll do a few minutes of that. And then the last thing we'll do is a mindful meditation. And don't worry if you've never even meditated ever in your life, or you've had some problems in the past. This is a guided meditation, and it's only about 10 minutes. So I know that you can do it. Anybody can meditate. So let's get started. And for this first section of the mindful movements, you can either stand or you can be seated. If you're seated, you want your feet planted on the floor, and you should have your feet a little bit wider than hip width. And the same if you're standing, you want your feet planted. Preferably your feet should be parallel to each other, so we don't want the feet pointing out or the toes pointing in. Try to be like on railroad tracks here, a little bit wider than your hips. And then bend in the knees slightly, roll the shoulders back, and then try to keep the chin parallel to the floor as we do the exercises. And the first thing we're going to do is just do a little bit for the lower back here, as well as some movement for the internal organs here. So what you're going to do, this is actually called a kidney pump. It stimulates all the internal organs. Very good for the lower back area. It's also very good for loosening up the shoulder area. And if you notice when I'm moving from side to side, I'm bending the knee and I'm picking the opposite heel up off the floor. That protects the knee. We don't want to be twisting the knee. So if you do that little bit of bend in the knee and pick up the heel, then your knee will move in the same direction as your upper body, so you're not twisting the knee. This is very good if you sit all day. Just get up every once in a while and do something like this. It really, really helps to just bring a little bit more energy in the body, and it helps with the lower back. All right, and then we're going to come back to center. And then the next thing that we're going to do here is a movement where we, first of all, let's take the left foot and bring it at like a 45-degree angle, and then step out with the right. I'm going to come back just a little bit here so that you can see what I'm doing with my feet. And then we're going to take the right hand and just do this movement where we're making a big circle. And notice where I'm coming here. So I don't have my hands up here. Figure out where the belly button is, and we're bringing the hand right around to that belly area. And then I'm bending the knee slightly and then coming out of that. It's a nice slow movement. I'll show you from the side. You can keep going here. Notice when I bend the knee doesn't go past the ankle. So it's very slight. Be very mindful of where that knee is. We don't want the knee to go past the ankle. Again, these are very slow, easy movements. And then let's raise the hand and now sweep the hand around the chest, lung area, heart center. In a Chinese practice such as there's actually what they call 3 treasures. And so this is the second treasure, which is sometimes called the chi area. Chi is energy. We're bringing energy into the lungs and the heart. And then we're going to bring the hand all the way up and just sweep it around towards the forehead. And this is the third treasure. And this is helping to clear your mind. And then we're going to float that hand down. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the right foot comes out to a 45 and step up with that left hand. And then we'll start at that lower first treasure here, coming around to the belly button. Again, bending the knee slightly. Don't go past the ankle here. One of the reasons why this is called a moving meditation, let's move up to the middle section here, is that you're repeating the movement over and over and over again, which may seem boring, but actually if you bring your attention, like right now, bringing your attention to the hand and maybe the arm, and just feeling any sensations in there, you can come to a more stillness in the mind as you do this. You're not thinking about what comes next as far as the movement. Let's come up and do that third treasure. And then let's float that hand down. And then we're going to do another movement here, and this is mostly for the arms and your shoulders. So again, let's come so that our feet are parallel to each other, a little bit wider than hip width. And you're going to start to float the arms up, come about shoulder level here. Notice my fingers are pointing down. And then when you get to about shoulder height, you're going to start to bring the fingers pointing up. And then you're going to bring the hands back down. Very slow, very gentle. So you're lifting the hands up, pointing the fingers up, and then bringing the hands back down. You can also bring in a breath here. So you inhale and exhale. Typically in our Qigong or a Tai Chi practice, the mouth is closed, the teeth are slightly separated, tip of the tongue is on the upper palate, and you're breathing in and out slowly through the nose. So we inhale, exhale. Focus on the palms. Notice any subtle sensations as you do the movement. Chin is parallel to the floor. This is very good for the wrist. Notice what's going on with the wrist here. It might not seem like you're really doing too much, but this is very good, especially if you work on the computer all day. Stretching that wrist area. Again, good for the shoulders, upper body. As you do this, focus on your breath. And truly make this into a moving meditation, bringing the attention more inward. Feeling the sensations, especially maybe in those palms. And then bring the hands back down. So a few little mindful movements today in Tai Chi and Qigong. All right. So for this next section, we're going to do the alternate nostril breathing. It's best to sit. So you can sit in a chair or sit on the floor, whatever works for you. I'm going to take my glasses off. If you have glasses, you might want to take them off. And again, as a review, alternate nostril breathing, we're going to be breathing in and out through one side, one nostril, and then we'll be breathing in and out through the other. What this does is it actually balances out the two hemispheres of your brain. It's actually been medically proven to do that. And so a lot of times if, for instance, you're working on, say, an Excel spreadsheet, doing accounting, statistics, anything like that, that's a lot of left brain. And so you've got a lot going on the left side as far as your brain waves. And so what this would do is this would balance out the brain waves between the left and the right. Same if you're doing something very creative, like creative writing, maybe some sort of artwork, playing a musical instrument, singing, anything like that that's more creative. That's usually what happens is the right side of your brain has a lot more going on. And so again, what this alternate nostril breathing does is it balances out both sides or the two hemispheres of your brain as far as the brain waves. So to do this, I like taking my right hand and make a peace sign here. And then you're going to take and you're going to bring this right to the middle of the forehead. And then we're going to be closing off the sides of the nostrils here. And it's best to use the thumb on the right side. And then on the left side, you'll use your ring finger, the fourth finger here. And we always start with the right side of the nostril closed down and the left side is open. So you're first going to exhale. So go ahead and exhale through the left side and then inhale through the left. Now, when you come up and get to the top of that inhalation, you're going to close off both sides of the airway here, hold. And then we're going to open up only the right side and exhale out. And then inhale through the right. When you get to the top of that inhalation, close off both sides, hold, and then exhale through the left. And then that's considered one round. So we're going to repeat that several rounds here. So again, let's get ourselves adjusted. We start with the right nostril closed off, exhale through the left, and then inhale through the left. Top of the inhalation, hold as you pinch off both sides of the nostrils. And then open up the right side, exhale. Inhale through the right. Close off both sides and hold. Open up the left side, exhale. Slow, long, deep breath in through the left. Close out both sides and hold. Open up the right side and exhale. Inhale through the right. Close off both sides, hold. Open up the left, exhale. Inhale through the left. Close off both sides, hold. Open up the right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Close off both sides, hold. Open up the left, exhale. Inhale through the left. Close off both sides and hold. Open up the right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Close off both sides, hold. Open up the left, exhale. Inhale through the left. Close off both sides and hold. Open up the right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Close off both sides, hold. Open up the left, exhale. We're going to do 4 more rounds. Inhale through the left. Close off both sides and hold. Open up the right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Close off both sides and hold. Open up the left, exhale. Inhale through the left. Close off both sides, hold. Open up the right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Close off both sides and hold. Open up the left, exhale. Inhale through the left. Close off both sides, hold. Open up the right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Close off both sides, hold. Open up the left, exhale. We're going to do 1 more round. Inhale through the left. Close off both sides, hold. Open up the right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Close off both sides, hold. Open up the left, exhale. If you haven't closed down the eyes, close down your eyes here and just bring your right hand down to your lap. Keep the eyes closed, keep the mouth closed. Place the tip of the tongue on the upper palate and gently start to breathe in and out through the nose and find your natural breath. Maybe notice there's a little bit more calmness in the mind. Maybe not as much chatter going on. You're bringing your attention to the breath and not trying to control or change the breath at all. Simply allow your body to breathe its natural rhythm. Breath coming in, breath moving out. Again, simply notice maybe the calmness that you've cultivated from that breath work. And you can gently open your eyes. All right. So we're going to move on to our mindful meditation. You can stay seated in a chair, or if you want to sit on the floor here. In the past, I've talked a little bit about how to sit so that you're comfortable. I like putting, if you're going to sit on the floor, I like putting just a little bit of height behind me, and that lifts my hips up a little bit. If you're sitting on the floor, one of the things that sometimes happens with crossed legs is your knees are way up here, which is definitely higher than your hips. And after a while, what starts to happen is you can get some pain in the hips, and sometimes things fall asleep. So if you have that little bit of height, then a lot of times you can bring the knees down towards the floor a little bit easier. Typically, if you're sitting cross-legged, you want your knees at either the same height as the hips or just a little bit lower. The other thing that I like to use is I actually place a little bit of support here, a little bit here. I have a little bit of support underneath my legs that just seems to help. It actually brings my knees up just a little bit, but it feels really good for me. So again, if you're not used to meditating, one of the first things to really do is figure out what's going to work for you. Everybody's body is different. Sometimes sitting in a chair is best to start out with. Again, if you're in a chair, you probably want your feet planted, grounded on the floor. we sit up nice and tall, but you don't want to be rigid here. So roll the shoulders back and down. And again, you do want to sit up as straight as possible. Close down your eyes and just notice where the ears, the shoulders, and the hips are. And if at all possible, see if we can get those in a straight line. But the spine is in a neutral posture here. And then just like in our Qigong practice today, we have the lips closed and the tip of the tongue is resting on the upper palate. The teeth are slightly separated, the jaw is relaxed. You're breathing in and out through the nose. And you're not trying to change your breath or alter the breath at all, or even trying to control the breath. See if you can let that go and simply allow your body to breathe. And one of the techniques that's used in meditation is not to necessarily still the mind, but more so of just observing or simply observing what's going on in the mind. So one of the techniques that I like to use is, first of all, bring my attention to the breath. Maybe bring your attention right to the tip of the nose. And watch your body take in air. Watch your body exhale, releasing that air from the lungs. So simply watching that breath coming in, watching the breath move out. Again, without controlling or altering or changing the breath, simply watching yourself breathe. And what will happen, the mind is meant to think about things all the time. We're always thinking, always talking to ourselves. So as soon as you become aware of something else that you're thinking besides the breath, so you've lost that attention, as soon as you become aware that you're thinking about something else, simply bring your attention back to the tip of your nose and watch your body breathe again. And again, as soon as you become aware of another thought, simply bring your attention back to your breath. Don't worry that you lost the attention. This is called a practice, not being perfect. You're simply watching the thoughts. So when a thought comes up, and sometimes I like to actually label that, like it might be planning or strategizing, or organizing, or teaching, so that thought that's going through the head, sometimes if you label it, identify it, and then just go back to your breath. So we continue to watch the breath coming in, watch the breath moving out. It's a practice of watching the mind. It's sometimes called a practice of learning how to still your mind and focus the mind on one thing. So right now what we're doing is we're learning and practicing how to focus the mind on our breath. Again, as soon as you become aware of some other thought going on, go back to your breath. Practice that focus. Practice that one pointed concentration. This will help you to be more productive, help you to concentrate in your day, whether you're at work or doing something else in your personal life. And bring your attention back to the breath as soon as you become aware of other thoughts. And it's a practice. Sometimes as that attention is diverted, we sometimes call that monkey mind. Just bring ourselves back to the tip of the nose. I like to call the tip of my nose and that breath coming in as a homing device. It brings me back home. Brings me back to the present moment. Not thinking about the past or something in the future. And notice what's going on in the mind. Your thoughts are elsewhere. Bring them back to the breath. Practice that one-pointed focus, one-pointed concentration. Whole body is relaxed, the face, neck and shoulders. And down into your hips, the legs, your feet and toes are relaxed. Focus on your breath. There's a famous meditation teacher. His name is Jack Kornfield. He's written several books about meditation, and he's been a meditation teacher for many, many years. And if you ever have a chance, probably find some of his videos and stuff on YouTube, Jack Kornfield. But I like his analogy. One of the analogies he gives for learning and practicing meditation is it's like a little puppy that you're teaching how to sit. If you've ever had to do that, they sit for about 1 second and then they go off. And then you bring them back, tell them to sit, and they sit for about 1 second and then they're off doing something else. And it's a great analogy of what happens with our minds, you know, that monkey mind of darting off into something else and then bringing it back to the present moment, darting off again and then bringing it back. And, you know, just like when we're training a puppy, we don't, you know, beat the puppy up or anything like that. We just are very, very patient with the puppy until it learns how to sit for more than 1 second. And so I love that analogy as far as like how to practice your meditation. So when your mind goes off into, you know, something in the past or something that's going to happen in the future, we bring ourselves back, but we don't punish ourselves or you know, do any type of self-defeating. Just come back to your breath. And that's the practice of meditation, of learning how to focus our mind. So if your eyes are still closed, you can open up your eyes here. And that's our practice for today. I always open it up to questions at the end. So if you've got any questions for me, you can certainly ask me any questions that you might have. Again, the name of that teacher that I referred to, and I'll put it in the notes here, Jack Kornfield. It's spelled with a K, Jack Kornfield. And again, he's written quite a few books. So thanks, Christy. Thank you. I love the stand-up stretching in the beginning. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know where you're at, but if you can find some Tai Chi or Qigong in your area, or maybe even like online or something like that. I do have some out on YouTube if you look me up. But I love the Qigong and Tai Chi. It's such a great stretch. So thank you, everyone. Take care. Happy holidays. And best of luck for 2022. 16 more days. All right. Bye-bye, guys.